Hey guys, what's up? It's IFBB Pro Roxy Beckles here, and I'm here today to give you another Coach's Corner. Now today I want to talk about a touchy subject, a subject that has sort of a taboo thing around it, and something that's not really discussed, but that's kind of like the big elephant in the room when it comes to competitions and what people are basically taking. So today I want to talk about whether it's possible to compete as a natural or not. Now, I do want to preface this by saying that not every single competitor that you see uses anything. You know, there are some out there who don't, and there are many out there who do. And this video is not about outing anyone, and it's also not about like trying to tell you what anybody is taking at any moment in time. So even in the comments, if you have questions or if you want to add anything, please just keep names out of it, because that's not what this video is all about. Now, as you know, I've been at this game for a very long time. I mean, I started competing back in 2010 as an amateur, and I've made it all the way up to the highest level of the sport by competing at the Olympia. And I'll tell you, it's been an interesting journey just seeing the way that the sport has evolved for women, particularly over the last 6 or 7 years just alone. The look that's being rewarded right now on stage is very different than even 2 seasons ago or 3 seasons ago. So the pendulum always swings from one end to the other when it comes to the judging, and really how the competitors are looking is based upon what's being rewarded. Everyone is always going to try to chase what's winning, because we all want to win. We all want to get to that next level, whether that means for you, as a local competitor, being able to place in the top 5 or win an overall title at the national qualifiers, or getting your pro card at nationals, or winning a pro show, or placing in the top 5 in a pro show, all the way up to being at the Olympia. We all have our goals, and we can be competitive. And when we see that people are doing certain things, we start to question whether we have to do those or not. One of the most important things I want to say to you is that no matter what, and no matter what anyone advises or tells you, you have to know what your limits are. And that's very, very important. I have a rule. You've got to draw your lines in the sand as far as what you are willing to do and what you're not willing to do, and never cross that line. That's the only way you can kind of play this game in a way that's ethical and moral to your beliefs and where you are, and to be able to have fun with it at the same time. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, with the way that particularly figure and women's physique is looking in this current season, it helps a competitor to use something, okay? I mean, I don't think there are very, very many people who can get really super striated glutes, really super striated and separated hamstrings and quads, especially for women, and bring a hard, dry look without some kind of hormonal manipulation. So there could be something going on there. And there are tons of things that a competitor could use, all the way from pro hormones and research peptides, which can be easily bought online. Although pro hormones have been banned, I will say that. And all the way up to your anabolic steroids and androgens and things that actually modify your hormonal levels to a great degree. Now, if you are a natural competitor and you don't want to have to cross those lines, then I would tell you not to do it. Don't do it. Do what makes you happy. You know what I mean? And push your body to your natural limits. And wherever that happens to fall on the day of your show is where it is. You know what I mean? And let the judges, let them decide who goes where. So don't compromise your morals in order to step on a stage. For what? The sake of a trophy? Because I'll tell you what, when you get to the pro level, honey, there's no cash in this game. I mean, you get a little bit of a prize money if you place in the top 5, but outside of that, supplement companies are not knocking at your door, magazines are not knocking at your door, and the opportunities aren't falling out of the sky. So you have to be able to live with whatever you put your body through, and know that everything has its consequences. So another option for those of you out there that are natural, that are concerned about am I going to step on stage next to someone who's enhanced, and you know, how fair is that? Let me tell you something. When I was an amateur, I never cared about who I was standing next to. Like, I wouldn't care if you, even as a pro, I don't care what you're using. I'm gonna go up there, I'm gonna bring my best, I'm gonna let the judges do what they have to do. You can't concern yourself with what the next person could or could not be doing. There are some people out there that are using a whole stack of stuff and they still look like, crap. Okay, so don't let that get into your head. Just go out there and do what you can and do your best. Another thing for those of you who want to stay natural and compete on a quote-unquote fair ground, I put those in quotes and I'll tell you why in a minute, is to try like one of the natural organizations that's out there. Or even if you want to stay within the NPC and stuff like that, just go to more natural shows. Do the shows that say that they're natural shows, so you have a more even playing field. Now, realize that some of the rules with these natural organizations and natural shows is not that you have to be a lifetime natural. It's that you haven't used anything in within a year or 2 years or 5 years, whatever it is within their criteria. So make sure that you do research that and you find out what that is, and you can decide whether or not that aligns with what you want to do as a competitor. But then, of course, you're probably saying that I'm skirting around saying this, and I guess I kind of am. There is enhancement in our sport. It's there, and in order to achieve a certain look, for some people that want to play this game and want to play it at the highest level, you have to decide for yourself what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do, what you're going to play with and what you're not going to play with. And that's just what the reality is. So my advice is this: don't let it discourage you. Okay, like, keep your mind focused on what you want to do and work your ass off. If you decide to go down that route and you decide that you're going to put something in your body, do not let someone, especially a guy who doesn't know what to do with women and their bodies, don't let them tell you to just take XYZ and this, that, and the third. Do your research. Do your research. Make sure you know what you are putting in your body. Make sure you know what are doses for women that are within range, that are not going to really change your physiology to the point where you turn into something you don't want to look like. Okay, so play the game super smart and do your research. And realize that these are not magic pills. They're not magic, potions or anything like that. You still have to put in the work. No matter what you put into your body, you still have to show up to the gym. You still have to follow your diet. And it doesn't necessarily mean that just because you're taking something, it's easier. It just helps you to achieve that unachievable look a little bit easier because you're playing around with your hormonal levels and stuff like that. But you still have to put in the work. You cannot rely on those things, those supplements. They're supplementary to your program to get you anywhere. So my advice to you guys is to do your research, and it's illegal to use these things in general. Like, you can get arrested, okay? But at the same time, it's not illegal within the sport in that you have to pass a drug test and you have the WADA list that you have to check against, and if you're using them against someone else who isn't, then it's unfair. That's not the game that we're playing within the NPC and the IFBB, unfortunately. Some of the natural orgs, yes, that's what the rules are. So it's not cheating, but it is, it's out there. It's enhancement, it's out there, and it's a part of the game, and you've got to decide whether or not you want to cross those lines. So that's my advice when it comes to competing as a natural. Is it possible? Absolutely. It is absolutely possible. You know what I mean? Is it probable for you? You have to decide that. Are drugs a part of the sport at the highest level, and what we're seeing as far as the reward, what's being rewarded on stage in this current season? Probably. And the answer is leaning more towards a resounding yes. And that's just the way it is, So questions. If you have questions, guys, please post them. This is a really important subject, especially for women. And if I can help out with whatever answers I can't get very specific with you and give you advice or anything like that, but whatever I do know, I'm willing to share. So please post your questions in the comment box below, and I'll be sure to get back to you and be sure to assist you with whatever you need. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. like this video, share this video, and open up the topic for discussion among your friends who compete and your coaches and stuff like that, because I think it's something that we all need to talk about that doesn't get talked about very often in our sport. All right, guys, I told y'all I'd be starting some controversy today. All right, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I can't wait to connect with you on the next one. Bye-bye.